NoFap. How long do urges last? Well, let's take a look at it in a few different ways. Long term and short term. The short term is obviously if you, for example, get urges today and then you wonder how many minutes will they last? Should I go for a walk to prevent relapsing or what? Well, the urges can come and go several times during a day. Now remember, when they come, you shouldn't resist them and you shouldn't feed them. This is called urge surfing, and if you do that, then they will last anywhere from just a few seconds to a few minutes. If you are a skillful surfer, then the urges almost never last longer than 20 minutes. However, one tip for you here is that the sooner you will become aware of the very start of the urge, the quicker you will be able to surf it and let it go. You see, there are these things I call micro urges, and they can sometimes start long before you are aware of it. Micro urges can be something like a very tiny thought from your addiction voice, whispering something like, "See any skin on the suggested videos?" Or a micro urge can be something trivial, like a 1-second flickering of a visual memory of something that you shouldn't be doing. It's really, really tiny, almost not noticeable. Now, the more aware you become, the more you will start noticing them though, and the quicker you will be able to start to notice exactly when your urges start, and then your chances grow of being able to successfully surf them. This is something I always talk in detail about exactly how to do with my one-on-one coaching clients. But start paying careful attention to your micro urges, and when they crop up, you instantly remind yourself of why NoFap is important to you and why relapsing would be a really bad idea. Because again, most of the time, the very start of your relapse begins much sooner than you think. And it begins in form of a small micro urge, a small seed that is planted and about to start growing. So what about long term then? How many weeks or months do we have to go before they disappear? Well, here's the deal. For 99.9% of guys, they will never disappear. Now, before you freak out here, listen to this. There are several kinds of urges. The aggressive ones that you are having in the beginning of your reboot and that feels almost like some sort of compulsion. Well, they hit you mostly because your addicted brain is craving a dopamine fix. These are the most difficult urges to master because, well, hey, it's an addiction and they don't call it an addiction for nothing. Now, the good thing is that about 1 month in, most guys will notice how those addiction-related urges will become much weaker. For some, it might even happen a bit sooner, and then for others a bit later. But between 4 to 8 weeks, it should be significantly easier. But then there are also other forms of urges that are involved with guys having had used adult sites as an escape from loneliness or some other problems. And those urges can be haunting you for a really long time, unless you fix your underlying issues. And then we also have more natural urges that do not have anything to do with your addiction or adult side. An urge that is driven by our natural programming to carry our DNA to the next generation. And this urge is not as aggressive as the addiction urges you had in your first week. And it's more natural, but it can still be a very powerful urge. An urge to bust a nut, so to speak. And you have to understand that for 99% of guys, this urge will come and go depending on the days, no matter if you are on day 50 or day 500. It will always be there. And you know what? That's great, because here's the deal. That natural urge right there is what is fueling your NoFap powers. You know, I see so many guys commenting things like, "Oh man, I am on day 200. When will these urges go away?" No, we don't want them to go away. Check this out. Look at those natural urges like the air in a combustion engine. When they build up, that is when the piston is moving upwards in the cylinder and compressing the air. Then, after it has built up for a while, we can ignite the spark plug by doing intense exercise or intense intensely doing something that we are passionate about, like diving headfirst down into some challenge related to our goals. And then bam, the spark plug ignites the compressed fuel-air mixture, violently driving the piston down, giving the engine its power. Well, there you go. No urges means no power in your NoFap engine, or at least less power. Now, obviously the biology is way more complex than this, and this was just a metaphor and an interesting way we can look at things. But one thing is for sure, you do not want to eliminate your S-drive and the urges that arise from that, because man, it is there where the biggest energy source lies. It is the core driver of your powers. So learn to work with it, cultivate it, transmute it, and then watch yourself grow. And if you want me to help you come up with a plan for you to stop relapsing so that you can get rid of the pain for good, then you can find a link to my coaching page under this video. And if you want to learn more about the whole concept of urge surfing, then take a look at this video right here as I talk more about that over there. Alright, this is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today, and as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself.